everyone, welcome to my channel, Fife and Flow. It's Danica Fife here. Today we're biking in the Chuckanuts, and I'm going to be asking my husband Andrew a couple of questions about his bike because it's pretty unique, and he'll give us a little review. To give you some background information, Andrew is 6'1" and has an XL Banshee Titan. This bike has 170mm travel up front and 155 in the rear. The Titan has adjustable geometry and a steep actual seat tube angle. For all other spec information, I'm going to be attaching a link in my description to Banshee's site. This bike was supposedly the color red, but as you can see, it is definitely orange. I would say maybe even blood orange at best.
I chose this bike because I had a Yeti SB 150. That was my last bike. I had it for a year. It was super sweet. It broke a lot. So eventually I wanted something similar, but that was a little more reliable. And this was made of alloy, had all the right geo, and I wanted to support a small brand based out of Canada. Favorite things about the bike are that it's not carbon fiber, and I like how I like the straight line speed, and the suspension is probably my favorite so far that I've used. The thing that I think is a problem is the seat post insertion could be a hair better. Like this sticks out of the frame only because it can't go any lower, and I had to shim it to 190 for my seat dropper, and I wish that were a little different. Plus there's a tiny bit of cable rattle. Oh, yeah.
So what type of rider would like riding the Banshee Titan?
I think the rider that is best suited for the Titan is somebody who likes straight line speed, who likes to hit some steeps, and you can still pop and play around, but I think plowing through stuff is the person that's going to enjoy this. For real though, the chunkier the descent is, the better. I think especially when you got open sections, it's really good. It corners well, it's got a nice balance on it, so that's nice too, but overall I'd say the steeper, more natural trails more than the flow.
So you bought this bike before ever riding it. Were there any surprises?
Yeah, the only surprises, geometry-wise, ride-wise, no, it was pretty much exactly what I hoped and thought it would be. The things that were noticeable, the chain stays pretty long and the whole bike has a really long wheelbase, but I got used to that quickly. The things that were a bummer that surprised me was the seat tube insertion wasn't that good, and then also I swapped all my parts over from the Yeti, and the head tube on this thing, you can see, is just remarkably large, and I had to either choose that day to buy a new fork for $1,000 or spend $100 and get a new stem and just hope that worked. I ended up having to get a new stem and a new headset top cap bearing, or like the bearing cover, and it barely works now. But those are things that I've just never had to deal with, so just to be aware of it.
If any of you have any further questions about the Titan, please leave them in the comments below. Andrew would love to answer them. If not, he'd probably be personally offended. Make sure to subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications. Now I hope you go and find some flow.